Testing. Test. Good. Very good. Let's just make sure. There we go.
Yes, very yes.
Yes or very yes? Do 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 do.
Boom.
Hello?
Okay. This first game viene con la message all the time. One. 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 One, two.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 5. And that can be all the way at 2.
Howdy.
Hello there. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Over at a place called Jericho.
All right. So I now have a countdown on the stream. Which I can go ahead and let that expire. All right, and how is everybody doing this evening?
Doing well.
Doing good.
Good, 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 good. All right, well, hello and welcome everyone to the Dragon of Icespire Peak. We are in session 18. Hunting we will go. And we are joined tonight by, I think we have a full house. Welcome back, Wesley. Glad you got all of your problems with the computer sorted out. And it's good to have you back with us. Oh, I'm not hearing Wesley.
I think I heard him earlier, but I was having sound problems myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I heard him too, but he's silent now. And Mike just said he's running a little late. So
Hello?
Hi.
Hey,
Okay,
Ivy.
you guys can hear me fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were worried about Wesley.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Wesley, your mic is not broadcasting. We cannot hear you.
If he's talking at all.
Yeah. All right.
He does get
So-
away from the microphone sometimes.
Okay. Well, that's all right. Yeah, it's just on a Discord, it kind of looks like it's lit up like he's trying to talk.
Oh, I didn't catch it.
But anyway, I am DM Gallibond. We have a full house, or we will as soon as Mike gets here. Welcome everybody to session 18 of the game, and we will. We are going to start where we left off at the end of last time, which was after having explored the woodland manse, a house which was almost as deadly to the party after they killed all the inhabitants as it was with the monsters around, especially with that trapped staircase being so mean.
my backside's still a little sore.
Yeah. Yeah. The wizard learned a valuable lesson. The clothies shouldn't go first.
Forgot no one came up the main staircase.
We're all memorized by the secret staircase.
Yep. So you are with your centaur companion friend, guide, Xanth, who accompanied you here and somewhat belatedly and got involved in some of the fights. And he had told you that there was this place and that there was also a hunting lodge by the name or owned by someone by the name of Falcon. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our map of the Sword Coast and show us where all the points of interest are. We are right now here at the Woodland Manse, and the hunting lodge that he has talked about is over here. And then ultimately, the goal is to get back to Phandalin over here to report on what you guys have done since you left, because you've had a very busy and productive trip. You went to the Dragon Barrow and then to the Loggers Camp and then to the Circle of Thunder and now to these two places before you make your way back to Phandalin. So it's been a long and strange trip. And so let's begin. Well, let me ask everybody what you all want to do. Are you ready to set off for the hunting lodge? Do you guys want to go straight back to town, or what would you prefer to do?
I think the original plan was to head back via the two locations, Woodland Manse and the Falcons Hunting Lodge. So my vote's to might as well make our way past the Falcons Hunting Lodge on the way back to Phandalin.
Okay.
Just no more
Any,
staircases.
pardon?
Just no more staircases this time.
Just one more staircase.
I'll fly up next time or fly down.
All right.
Staircases to me.
There is Mike. Welcome, Mike. How are you?
I'm around.
Good. And okay, so we will head off to the Falcons Hunting Lodge. It'll take you maybe the better part of I guess about 8 hours to get there. You can't go quite as fast through the forest as you could over the open road. So you wind up going through there. Now, what you see on your way is, especially those of you who are used to traveling out in the wilderness, you see a lot fewer animals than you would expect to see. And you also see the evidence of the passage and the campsites abandoned now of quite a few orcs that are in this forest area. And they seem to be more or less in the area of the Woodland Manse. And after you get maybe about 5 miles or so away from the Woodland Manse, those gradually dissipate. But you still see, for a few miles beyond that, the forest creatures seem to be a little bit more hidden than they might otherwise normally be, or they're thinned out more. It's hard to tell which, especially if orcs have been out here hunting in this area. All right, so as you continue along, you will eventually come to an area where the land is a little more ripply, and it's still forested, but the hills kind of roll up and down in rather quick succession. And as you come down over one of those hills, you see down below in a little valley, you see a clearing wherein there is a very a rustic-looking lodge that looks in very good repair. There is a thin wisp of wood smoke coming out of the chimney. And you see that there's a bit of a mist or a fog that is starting to kind of creep in as the day begins to wane, and the sun is getting at least halfway towards the western horizon. And as you approach, a thin fog surrounds a fortified compound standing in a clearing on the east side of a narrow river. A 10-foot high log palisade surrounds the compound, whose main building is a 2-story stone and wood affair with a high-pitched roof, gables, windows, window shutters, and a stone chimney. Attached to the main building is a blocky tower of gray stone, its high roof lined with battlements. Other structures include a 2-story stable house and a gatehouse whose flat roof is enclosed by iron railings. A stone bridge spans the river, extending before an oaken door set into the gatehouse's outer wall. Mounted next to the door is a bell with a short rope hanging from its clapper. Yes. All right. And let us see, where are we? We are here. I'm going to bring this over here and put us on. Whoops. I decided that this, for whatever reason, needed the dynamic lighting, and that it does not need. Okay, there we go. All right, so you guys are approaching from roughly over here in this area and heading towards the lodge. You kind of circled around a little bit, but
Are we supposed to see? Are we supposed to see all the buildings and inside the building?
You're supposed to see the outside of the buildings, but there's there's not really much of anything to be concerned about at this point. So
okay,
yeah, you could kind of get the lay of what's there. So
okay.
you have your log wall, your little gatehouse here.
No, I mean we can see inside. We can see everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So what do y'all want to do?
Is the mist pretty much hanging? Is it look more of like a natural mist?
Yeah, it looks more like a mist that is rising off of this river here. You know how when there's a real stark temperature difference between the air and the water, you'll get kind of a mist there. And it seems to be lazily drifting north, which is the direction of the current.
And you say we could see a smoke coming out of a chimney?
Yeah, there's a chimney on the main house. like over here or so. That back towards the back of the main house from your perspective, and you see the smoke rising from that stone chimney.
Hey, Gorrim, how about you go knock on the door and see if anybody's home?
Gorrim sounds like a good idea.
Ooh, okay. We can hear you now, Wesley, but you're very robotic.
How about now?
Nice.
Perfect. There you go. Okay.
I'm still having to use my cell phone because I don't have a headset yet that'll work on my computer. But once I get one of those, then I'll be using the computer.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, there's that little bell with the rope. You could pull on that, or you could just go up and bang on the door with your mailed fist. It's up to you.
I'm not even sure where we are.
Oh, okay. So are you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're right here at the end of the bridge, at the edge of the gatehouse here. Yeah.
So why are we here? What's the plan? What's the purpose of being at this?
I'm sorry, you broke up on part of your question, so I didn't hear everything you were asking.
What are we here for? Why are we at the castle? What's our purpose here?
Oh, well, who can tell Gorrim why why the team decided to come here?
We currently have a companion, which is Xanath, which is our center friend, and he's looking for his friends, and he thinks that these are two locations that they might have went or been seen at. So we're trying to investigate these places to see if we can find his friends before we go back to our town and leave him off there if he couldn't find his friends.
So what does he think happened to his friend?
The orcs came and destroyed the Circle of Thunder that he was at and his friends were at. Well, his tribe was at, but yeah.
They ran off all his family, and so he's just trying to locate his family and his friend, his clan, and everything.
So why does he think they're here?
This was an acquaintance of his in the forest that he thought might have answers for him.
This is where they live.
So these are supposed to be good guys, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, Gorrim will go knock on the door.
I was just waiting for an orc to show up so he can go nuts.
Oh yeah, if there's orcs in here, that'll be fun.
Out of character, it's why I told him to go knock on the door in case there were orcs, so he'll just look at them and start going crazy.
Well,
welcome back, Wesley.
Anybody home?
And you hear the voice of an elderly man. I'm coming. And then there's a little port on the door that slides open, and you see a rather distinguished looking man who is a bit older. He says, yes, what do you want? I'm Corwin. How can I help you?
Is that who we're looking for? Where's the centaur?
The centaur. Oh, that is a good question. Where is the centaur? The centaur is all right. Premium. Okay. He is in the token page. My token. centaur.
You shall not pass.
Where is the token? I can't. Was it Roger Moore or was that a? That's a pleasurable. Yeah, that guy. Texan. Jimmy Stewart.
One ring to rule them all.
And Xanth comes up. I'm going to change his name here. Xanth comes up and says, "Oh, good sir, have you seen any of the centaurs from the Circle of Thunder?" And Corwin says, "Oh, you've come from the Circle of Thunder. Oh, with the centaurs. Yes, yes. Come in, come in." And you can hear him. He starts to move a bolt, and then there's a he kind of grunts against a bar, and then he says, where is the name of the other person here? Pell, confound it, boy, come here, Pell. And after a few moments, you hear the patter of feet running up, and then you hear the man finally gets the bar turned the right way, and then you can hear him grunting, and you hear the wooden bar slide. And after it slides a bit, then he starts to pull one of the doors open, and you see a world-weary gentleman with gray, wispy hair and a neatly trimmed beard, and he's got an apron on, like he might be some kind of a cook or something. And there's a 12-year-old, it looks somewhere between 10 and 13-year-old boy there, that he looks like he probably has been in the stable from the hay that's kind of hanging off of different parts of his clothing. And he just sort of he touches his forehead and he sort of bows, gives you guys a little bit of a bow. And how many of you guys are riding horses? Do we have any horses? Or I guess you guys got
Well,
I
mine
horses.
think we all have horses.
Okay.
I thought
That's
we
a
came with the
donkey.
ox, not the horses. And
Well,
yeah,
the
that's right, he
ox
drives the ox.
the ox went back to Phandalin.
Yeah. And isn't that the only animal that we brought with us besides, well, Thou, Bandit? But
I thought you all had leased horses.
We
but-
had horses, and Gorrim, I think, was not on a horse. But I
Okay.
can't remember.
Okay.
my bad.
All right. So
It's a donkey.
the lad reaches out a hand, kind of in a practice gesture as though he's going to take reins. And the cook pats him on the shoulder and says, Now, Pell. And he says, "Gentleman and lady, Pell will see to your animals if you need him to. He is the stable boy. You can tell him if there's any special care that your mounts need. Come in. And he
The
beckons
dwarf
you all.
looks at the centaur up and down. He said, "I don't know if he's supposed to eat at the table or in the stable."
And Xanth just shakes his head and goes, "My good sir, did you say that you have seen other centaurs from from the Circle of Thunder. And Corbin says, "Oh yes, yes. There are 3 of them here. You can go on into the main lodge. They will be excited to know that someone else survived. The main door is right around on the side." And he points over to this area over here. So Xanth will go, and we will do this. We will. And then, all right. And so Xanth doesn't wait for the rest of you guys. He just sort of runs off over this way. And as we all know, in 5th edition, I did fix your guys' tokens, I think, so you should be able to control them. You may not have been able to when they first came out, but hopefully I fixed it so you guys all can. And he comes in, and you can hear him exclaim, my friends! And you can hear other voices say, Xanth! In return from inside. And there is, when you get inside, you will also see, here we go. You'll also see a younger man, human, and he is a rather tall fellow, about 6.5 feet tall. He's got neatly trimmed dark hair that's pulled back in a thin braid that's wrapped with a leather cord. And he looks very much at home here in this place. And as you all enter, he says, welcome. Welcome to my home. You can call me Falcon. And he looks at each of you, and he's got blue eyes that are very piercing. And he just kind of seems to study each of you as you walk into the door.
Greetings.
Greetings. So, have you all come from the Circle of Thunder? And he indicates the centaur. And Xanth says, I was at the Circle of Thunder, driven off like my companions here, but I met up with these adventurers. They have been many, many places. It's not my tale to tell. I will let them tell of it what they will. And so Falcon then looks to you and says, well, you must be thirsty. When Corwin gets back in, I will have him draw us some ale, and he will have to put more food on for a larger dinner than I was expecting to have. Come, sit, tell me of your travels.
Abinadom?
Yes.
Think the man's asking us what's going on.
Oh, all right. Go
I heard
to
him ask us for dinner. I'm ready to eat.
You're always ready to eat, sir. You can eat
I got
meat
these big
at home.
dwarven muscles.
You weigh like 15 stone.
I walk up to him and I say,
I got to have strong muscles to swing a sword.
I'm Abinadom, and we've done a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But everything looks good here. And I look at Zenth and just kind of, everything good?
And Xanth gives you a look. Roll an insight check of Benedum, or anybody who wants to can roll an insight check. We'll say that all of you, except for maybe Dorzaphir, who appears to be fishing by the river, are okay. All right.
I didn't move my character. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm giving Benny guidance for this as well.
Ooh, I got a nat 20 on insight.
Yes, nice.
With 0 wisdom modifier.
Okay, well, definitely Abinadom and Dorzaphir, you can both tell that the look Xanth is giving Abinadom is a disapproving look. That he feels like this man is offering you hospitality and you're repaying the hospitality with, very cagey and suspicious remarks, and he doesn't think that that's appropriate. But he's not going to say anything.
Well, Gorrim says, I will be happy to eat and share our stories of many of the orc we have slain. And we even fought a dragon.
And so the centaurs murmur and they move up. They kind of excitedly, and at the mention of orcs, Falcon turns and stares at Gorrim intently and says, "The orcs. What do you know of them? What do you know of their plans? Where are they?"
I know their heads come off their body pretty easy.
All I know is that most of the orcs got driven away from the mountains because of the dragon.
And Master Dwarf, you say you have slain many of these orcs?
We all have. Even old Zenth here has helped in killing a few.
Oh, really? I have some. Tell me, are you aware of away to the west of here? Away to the east of here, there is an old ramshackle mansion that was once the home of a rather prominent wizard who abandoned it a century ago or more. Do you know the place?
Of course not. I'm a dwarf.
Wesley wouldn't know from.
Does it?
Yes, and owner was rather fond of pumpkins. Had a lot of pumpkin patches.
Yeah, we just came from there, and it was overrun with a bunch of boars.
Boars? Well, I have some skill with communicating, if you will, with the birds of the air and the beasts of the forest. And less than a 10-day ago, they gave me warning that orcs were massing there, and I fear that they may try to attack. They may try to attack the lodge here. Did you see any evidence that they were amassing? Hey, Turbo. Thanks for joining us.
There were some that we fell upon, but they are no longer existing. We dwelt them a significant blow. I don't know.
They're amassing in a grave.
I don't know if they had more that left before or some still to arrive, but there are none there living now.
Oh, and then the centaurs, they burst out. They say, "But Xanth, what of the Circle of Thunder? What became of the orcs there?" And Xanth says, "Oh, these adventurers have slain them. They even slew the great spirit boar that the cultists were summoning." And Falcon looks at him and then looks at you all and says, "Spirit boar, what of this? What do you know of this? What happened? Please tell me."
It was one heck of a fight.
It was a big
Well, it was
beast.
a bore, if you ask me.
Ba-doom-tsh.
Wah, wah, wah.
It was a big beast. And these 3 witch half-orc females tried to kill us, and we took them out.
Oh,
And survived.
I wonder if that had anything to do with the strange storms I have seen over the forest in the last few days. They stopped 2 or 3 days ago.
That sounds about right. There was a huge storm forming when we arrived at the Circle of Thunder. And the reason we went there when we did is we were concerned that storm might cause significant problems for those in the forest.
Well then, I will have to send some of my friends out for reconnaissance, to see if the immediate threat is indeed past. Would you mind being my guests tonight and tomorrow? I will make it worth your while. Mead, ale, food, and if my friends, and he kind of looks out towards the woods, and you give me an insight check. Anybody who wants to. Wow, Abinadom, killing it on the rolls tonight. Wow, everybody's doing well. Okay.
We'll see if
Yeah.
the rolls.
Don't jinx us.
Abinadom, Finn, and Hyza, all 3 of you, when he talks about his friends, you catch the meaning that he's talking about the beasts of the woods. He says, "If my friends indeed bring back reports that the threat is nullified, then I may have some parting gifts I can give you that I was intending to use to recruit assistance in fighting off the orc threat. But I see no reason why they should not still be earned, even if the debt was paid before I asked the favor.
Testing 1, 2. What in the world just happened?
Oh, hey, yeah, okay. I can hear you. Yep. Oh, Turbo, did I cut out again? Looks like I'm back on. Thank you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
I think my internet dropped. That's what happened. It was my bad.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, DM, we had you the whole time.
Okay. Turbo on the stream, I finally realized that I could set up my phone next to my computer, and I can use that next to my DM computer, and I can use that to monitor the chat without having to turn 120 degrees to look at the other monitor on the other computer to see what's going on in the chat. So we have a more real-time way of seeing what's happening out there, being a little more interactive with our viewers. Okay, so.
And you said his name is Falcon, right?
Yeah, that's what he calls himself.
So I look over to Falcon and I say, Falcon, I appreciate your hospitality. I will gladly spend the night and do what I can to help. Sorry that I was a little short earlier. I'm still sporting a sore back from quite a nasty fall. And I've been trying to be a little bit more cautious lately.
Well, caution is not a bad thing.
You have a fine place here.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It serves me well. The Corwin is a longtime family retainer who retired, who is looking to retire about the same time as my father, but he decided that a cottage in the city was not for him. He wanted to live in the country, so I offered him a chance to stay out here, and then I always have to look this guy's name up, and then Pell, the lad has had a hard upbringing. He was orphaned because he does not speak. So we have let him tend the stables. He seems to have a knack for the animals. He likes them and they like him. And he can get along with them just fine without having to talk to them. So he seems well suited for the job. But there are guest rooms upstairs, and I have plenty of mead and ale in the cellar. And all during this time, Corwin has come out, and he has brought a tray that has 4 large pitchers and about 10 mugs, counting for all of you and the centaurs and Falcon. And one pitcher or 2 of the pitchers clearly have ale, and it is Gorrim. Sadly, it's not dwarven ale, but it is a nice stout, like porter. So it's a very stout, dark beer. And the mead is a very, very strong honey mead that is not too sweet and cloying, but has just a nice, refreshing flavor to it. And then after he drops those off, he comes out a little bit later, brings several loaves of fresh baked bread and a couple of tubs that have a very creamy butter in it. And then he announces that dinner will be venison steaks, along with some potatoes and carrots and onions from the garden, and a sauce that is a reduction of a red elfin wine sauce over the meat and the vegetables. And that dinner is served. And then as you all are sitting down and eating, Falcon will look at, let's see, who will he look at? He'll look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll look over at Gorrim and he'll say, Master Dwarf, you made mention of a dragon. Tell me, what is this, the same white dragon that we have heard so much about and have feared in these parts for some time?
Aye, if it is, it's a little weak.
Oh, you did not slay it, did you?
The coward flew away.
Ah.
So we gave it a good shellacking.
Well, that is no small feat. Indeed, I have the honor to host True Heroes tonight. And he raises a glass and he raises his mug and he toasts you all for your victory over your victory in your fight against the dragon. And then he'll ask you some of the about some of your other exploits, and we'll just go around the room. Finn, is there anything in particular you would want to tell Falcon about the adventures that you guys have had?
I can't get most of what anybody's saying on the Discord right now for some reason.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it's like you were talking to Falcon, and I got that last part, but I don't feel the context. And I
Okay.
don't know what is relevant. So Finn is therefore distracted by something
Okay.
large and reflective in the room.
Okay. All right. Then let's go to Abinadom. Did you hear what he was saying, and was there anything in particular you wanted to tell him about your adventures so far?
Sure. Yeah, we took down a nasty minotaur and impressed a lot of tavern folk with song and dance, and they very much appreciated us taking down that minotaur.
Minotaur or Manticore?
Oh, Manticore. That's what I meant. Manticore. Totally different thing. Manticore.
Yeah.
Starts with an M.
Yeah.
Flying
Yes.
Minotaur.
Yeah, flying Minotaur with tail spikes.
No, Manticore. We took down a Manticore.
No, and he is very impressed. He seems very impressed by that. Dorzaphir, anything that Dorzaphir would tell him about your adventures so far?
Yes. It's been very entertaining being with this group here. It's been fun. And I look over at Finn quick. I go, hey, Finn, why don't you play a ditty, sir? He might like a little entertainment with his food.
Ditty.
A jaunty, a song.
The way you use words.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't.
At least I heard that part. He says, barely looking away. So you want me to do this? Yeah, he's still looking at the.
Actually, a 16 is not bad. I mean, for a guy who's used to being out here in Rustic, a 16 is going to sound really good to him. Now, if you were performing in a bar where they heard the best musicians in Waterdeep every night, yeah, okay, 16 might be passable, but out here it sounds pretty good.
I help him out with some sparks, shower of sparks to help tell his tale.
Ah, okay. All right. So there are some dramatic effects that accompany it. All right, just for that, Finn, if you want to try again and have advantage on that performance roll, I'll give that to you with Abinadom providing the effects.
All right, Finn, are you still looking at the mirror? Nope.
Oh,
He actually pays
no,
attention
okay.
now.
Woo!
Yes. Okay, now everybody is impressed. Falcon, he has an appreciative smile on his face. He seems like a man whose emotions are sort of muted, and he doesn't. He's not given to a lot of dramatic looks, but the centaurs that have not been with you, and even Xanth for that matter, as Finn is telling his tale and singing his song, if he sings a song to go along with it, all of the centaurs, their mouths are just hanging open, and they're just sort of slack jawed and looking like, oh my goodness, they've never heard anything like that before. And when it's clear that he's ended, they all just they stamp their hooves and they clap. They're very appreciative, and you have impressed your non-human audience, your non-humanoid audience. I guess centaurs aren't really humanoids, are they? Or are they?
Half humanoid.
Yeah. All right, so and then he will look at he will look at, who will he look at next? Ivy or Hyza. Anything you want to tell him about your adventures that you've had with this group so far?
I have to say, all of the people in this party has amazing characteristics. I've gotten to know them all again. Well, one of them all again, but the rest new and refreshed, almost like family.
What? Who'd you know before?
Claire's over at Finn, but doesn't say anything.
Wait, which one of you knew her from before? That explains a lot of stuff.
She completely ignores him and goes on and says, well, I forget the real term of them, but I remember these almost like alligators coming out of the ground, which are big, huge worm things, and we killed them off from the hunting the wood cabins. What are they called again? And she looks over at Abinadom and Dorzaphir, just completely numb-minded.
You're asking me? I called a manticore a minotaur.
I don't know. Maybe you're better with land creatures?
I'm trying to look at my notes and I don't have the notes.
So he'll ask, so they came from, you say they burrowed, they came from underground. Were they like worms, or were they like insects that came from under the ground?
Oh, you talking
It was
about?
insects.
Oh.
Yeah, there was one inside the hunting lodge too, but I shot him.
Yeah,
Oh
we'll-
dear.
I dressed up as one and scared Finn. That was great.
You dressed up like one of what? He asks.
One of the monsters.
I know what they're called, but I don't know what they're called.
You don't know what the uncubs are called?
And kegs.
Oh, yeah,
And kids.
yeah. As you guys finally come up with a
I
name,
wanted to call them
Anteg,
anti-lions.
he will say, oh, and kegs. Wow, you really have fought a lot of different monstrosities. Good for you. This is wonderful. Well, and then as he finishes up his dinner, he will, I guess, just out of character, Chris, is L kind of hanging around outside, or is he going to come in and join the group?
He's doing his thing just to keep him watching all angles.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, at some point, when the
And
dinner
if anybody asks Gorrim about the battle,
okay, yeah, sure, he'll ask you.
the more alcohol that he drinks, the more orcs there were, the larger the dragon was, the bigger their fangs, etc.
Okay. Yeah, it was this big after one ale. It was this much bigger after 4 ales. It was this much bigger after 6 ales. Okay. After finishing dinner and then there's a dessert that is some very light sweet cakes that is drizzled with honey, and there's like a sweet cream that is served with those. After that, Falcon will get up and he will walk out.
That go, man, you're making me hungry.
And L, you will see him come out the door. And are you gonna be kind of trying to avoid being noticed, or are you just sort of keeping watch out there where anybody would
I'm
notice you?
not hiding. I got my bow
Okay.
in my hand casually with the arrow drawn, but not like raising it towards him or anything, but just eyeing him suspicious.
Okay. And he comes out and he stops. He says, "Oh," he says, "friend, you arrived with the others. Can I have my cook bring you out any food or ale?"
A drink would be nice.
Oh, okay. Well, when I go in, I will send him out. You are welcome to stay inside with the rest of us if you wish. I believe your companions have decided to stay the night. If that meets with your meaning, I must attend to some business just outside.
Couldn't help but notice.
Well, Gorm's not going anywhere because at this point he would be too full of alcohol and food to be of any use anymore.
Okay.
Except to hold a bed down.
Okay.
Couldn't help but notice your lack of guards.
Well, I have friends out in the woods. They warn me if there are any dangers, and they can help me to look after my servants. And as for me, I can pretty much take care of myself. But I have been concerned about a potential attack by a mass of orcs. But from what I gather from your companions, you all may have seen that will not happen. In fact, that is partly my errand now. You may accompany me if you wish. And he heads to this little gate here, and he opens it, and he goes outside. And he comes over to about here, and then he stops. And all this other stuff that's here is kind of like that last place we were, where all the rest of this is the upper level. So just ignore that, as it's not really there. It's just more trees and open ground. And Falcon stands and he kind of looks out to the woods, and he holds his hands out to the side, and he closes his eyes. And it's almost like he's meditating there for a moment. And then you see from maybe 30, 40 yards away, you see first an owl, and then a hunting bird, something like a falcon or something like that, that come and land on a tree nearby, and they look down kind of expectantly at the man. And then out from the trees over there, you see walking just very casually, very sort of sedately, you see a brown bear walks out of the woods and just begins to make its way over towards the human. And then off over that way, you see a gray wolf comes out of the forest and just walks over, kind of like a dog, walks over towards the human. And you're standing there, so when the bear and the wolf each get about 20 feet away from Falcon, they just sort of sit down and they look at him, and then they sort of do that thing where they kind of lay down on their bellies with their forepaws together, and they lay their head on their forepaws, and they're just sort of looking at him. And
Gorm says to the others, y'all, he rubs his eyes, says, y'all are seeing this too, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure it wasn't the mead.
You're not that drunk.
And so then when the animals all get there, Falcon he'll open his eyes and he'll look up first to the birds, and he will motion them with his fingers, and they will fly over, and one will light on each of his shoulders. And then he turns to Elle, and he says, the bear and the wolf are my friends. They will not harm you. And he looks at your bow, and he says, you have no need for that here. He'll kind of look at you expectantly, like he's waiting for you to put it away.
I'll give him a nod, and I want to give him the once over and roll an insight if I can, see if I can see anything shady that pops out.
Sure.
Okay.
No, he seems perfectly on the level.
Throw the bow over my back, and I guess I'll get that drink myself.
And he nods to you. And then he looks to the other two, to the bear and the wolf, and he sort of motions to them. And they will come over and they will just sort of sit down in squares just opposite him. One will just sort of sit like right here. Whoops, that's not a good color. Doesn't show up well. Let's do this. Okay. One will sit here, and one will sit here. And then he will just, he will start making kind of strange animal-like noises. And he looks at all four of the creatures, and they will sort of chirp or grunt or growl or kind of do, some sort of little vocalizations in return. And he seems to have a brief conversation with them. And when he's done, he reaches in his pockets and he pulls out some berries and he feeds those to the bear. And then he gets out some jerky and he gives that to the wolf. And then he pulls out 2 live mice from a pouch, and he holds one in each hand, and the hawk and the owl just snare those out of his hands and fly up into the trees. And if you're close enough, Elle, you will hear the mice go squeeze as they get as the life gets crushed out of them by the talon.
Gorrim begins to clap. Neat trick, neat trick.
And the whoops, I don't need to do that. I meant to do this.
Those of us that are inside, we're not seeing any of this, right? Right.
Yeah, but nothing is saying that you can't. You couldn't follow him out if you wanted to see what's going on. So if Gorrim is seeing it, I'm presumed that he just kind of was like, well, where's this guy going? And he walked out and watched. But then after that, Falcon.
He was probably outside taking a whiz.
Falcon
after drinking all that ale, it goes right through you.
Yep. He will come back inside and he will say, well, he says, I have sent my friends to scout and see if there are any threats to our north, south, east, and west from the orcs. And I expect I will get a response from them by sundown tomorrow. And if it seems clear, then I can give you the reward I had planned to offer to any who would help me. And so he has another ale, and he tells you there are several rooms upstairs, and he himself has a suite upstairs that he will use, and then he'll go and retire for the night. Corwin seems to stay up as late as you all do, and he will offer you any mulled wine or anything you might want as a late night drink before bed. And then after a while, he will turn in. So we don't need to worry about who's sleeping where, but the question to you all is, do you want to keep a watch during the night, or is everybody just going to go to sleep?
I'll keep a watch. No, a half like the night.
I'll meditate for the first half and then climb up on the tallest structure I can find to watch the second half.
Okay.
The entire building can hear Gorrim snoring.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. So it sounds like Hyza will take first watch. Elle will take second watch. Hyza, you're going to take the watch inside, or are
Yep.
you going to go out? Okay. All right. And then Elle, it's probably going to be this gatehouse here, this building here. If you go up onto the roof, no, I'm sorry, the gatehouse over here. My bad. This one here. If you go up onto the roof, that's probably going to be the highest point. There's like a little trap door that opens, and then there's crenellations around on the roof. And it's a nice, brisk, cool night. Both of your watches pass uneventfully. In the morning, the sun rises over the trees, and it's maybe the first nice, peaceful, uninterrupted night that you guys have had in quite a while, where you haven't been, certain that something was going to be hunting you.
That was a good night. I make my way down to the common area, the common room, wait for other people to show up.
Okay. Well, the cook has a nice breakfast for you. There's thick cut bacon, eggs. There's some fresh cheese that he has, and some berries with cream. And there's like apple juice that he has. That, and of course, he also has water, and he has ale, and he has mead for breakfast. And then
Gorrim likes these horse people. They drink for breakfast.
Yep. There's the stable outside over here in kind of the south yard area. The stable over here, your horses are there, and you all can, wander around or whatever. Or Falcon is willing to play either cards or dice. He doesn't appear to have a whole lot of money, or at least he doesn't act like he has a whole lot of money. If anybody wants to wager him, he'll wager a few coppers, but he's not going to wager any serious money on any kind of games of chance. But he will pass the time. He's also got a pouch of tobacco and several pipes if anybody wants to smoke a pipe with him. And the day's kind of a lazy sort of day. Anybody want to do anything in particular while you have more or less a free day?
I walk outside, and I have Bandit go up and fly around, and I look through his eyes just to kind of get a lay of the land, see if I see anything interesting.
Okay. You notice there's distinct difference in the forest around here than there was in the forest around the woodland manse that you came from. A lot more bird song, a lot more, evidence of a lot more creatures around. You might even see, like, off near the edge of the woods, you might see the occasional rabbit or fox over there. Good
So
evening, Lo. Thanks for joining us on the stream.
Do I notice any weak points of, if orcs were to attack, where they might come from, or where there might be areas that are more well hidden than others?
Not really. I mean, the area immediately around the lodge has been cleared. And there are these paths out in the gate that you went out. It looks like there's two well-worn game trails. The paths appear no larger than game trails. The paths out on the other end, the gatehouse that you came in yesterday, those appear more like roads that maybe wagons would go on. But you figure you could ride a horse through these paths, but there's none that appear any nothing any really distinctive about any of the areas around the lodge.
Okay. I do that for a while and then I go back inside.
Yeah. And Bandit definitely gets distracted occasionally by a mouse or some other small rodent that is in the grass or the undergrowth, and that he can see or smell.
Okay.
And so yeah, afternoon comes, and about mid-afternoon, Falcon will eventually head back out, and he'll go outside, and he takes a dagger and a little block of wood, and he goes and he sits on one of the stumps of the trees that's been cut there, and he's whittling. And he's out there maybe a couple of hours. And anybody who's watching him at that time, they will eventually see the hawk will fly up and will perch in a tree nearby, look around, and then fly down and land on his shoulder. And he'll sort of seem to converse with the hawk a little bit. And then he gives it another mouse, and it flies off. And then after a few minutes, the wolf comes loping out of the woods and trots over, and kind of looks around. If it sees anybody else, it'll sort of wait until it gets a signal from Falcon to come closer, and then it will come up next to him, and it will sit there and let him scratch it behind the ears, and it makes little growling noises and stuff at him, and he responds to it, and he gives it some jerky, and then it turns around and it lopes off into the woods again. Then the owl comes and lands on his shoulder, has a conversation with it, gives it a mouse, and then finally the bear, maybe a half hour or so before dusk, the bear comes walking up, and same thing, if it sees another person, it'll sit a few feet away, maybe 20 feet away, until Falcon beckons it closer, and then it comes over and he talks to the bear and he gives it some berries, and it goes off. And when he stands up, Abinadom, if you've been there watching all of that, he stands up and he's walking back towards the gate. He has a very satisfied smile on his face. And he's
And I say, as he's approaching, I just say, very impressive. I've just got the one owl. You've got those 4 beastly friends. That must be wonderful.
and he looks at you and he says, "Well, yes, you have gifts that I that I do not have. You can command the very elements of nature, can you not? Call fire from the air, or ice, or cause great eruptions of stone and hail to fall from the earth and crush your enemies. My gifts only are in conversation with the animals and some of the small magics that we druids are able to draw on."
Well, all powers and gifts are a blessing if used appropriately and correctly.
Well said. Well said. And speaking of appropriate and wise use, it seems that we have cause for a celebration tonight. Come, we will feast to victory over the orcs. My friends have confirmed that the threat appears to be past, and you all have indeed driven the enemies of the hunting lodge away from these parts. And he says, "Corwin, we need a celebration feast. Do your best." And Corwin says, "Oh, right, sir. Right, sir. I'm on it." And so he starts to bring out. He brings out bread again, but this time instead of being loaves of like brown barley bread, he brings out like very fine yeasty rolls. And there's more of that sweet, creamy butter that there was with the berries this morning. And it goes really, really nicely with that, with the piping hot yeasty rolls. And then there's some salad that's leafy greens and has other fresh vegetables in it. And then there's a hearty dinner that is venison steaks again, but this time they are prepared with some garlic and herbs that they have been grilled with, and there's kind of like a almost like a stew, vegetables that are kind of like a stew with a gravy that is served with them. It's very, very good. And then there's a dessert that is a very, very light whipped sort of mousse type of concoction that he has been able to make. And it's got a hint of berries and a hint of chocolate in the flavor of the mousse as well. And there's a little bit of a chocolate syrup that can be drizzled over that if anybody wants to do that. And of course, there's mead, and there's ale, and there's water. And then they also have, he will also bring out 2 pots at the end of the meal along with the dessert. One is a pot of coffee, and one is a pot of tea. And as the dinner goes on, Falcon will tell everybody that his woodland friends have gone out and have scouted out the areas of known orc encampments, has found all of them abandoned, and either the carrion birds and animals are tearing at the corpses of the orcs, or the orcs are all dead, or there are graves, I should say, that he has found. And he says, "Well, the best news is that indeed the woodland manse is cleared of enemies, and that was where I feared the greatest threat might come from. And I was going to offer as a reward, and I believe you all have earned, these fine boots." And he takes a nice, supple pair of boots and sets them on the table. He says, "These are yours for whomever you may want to give them to. These boots of elven kind."
Those look
A
like
pair of boots.
Those look like boots my kin wear.
And he looks at Abinadom and he says, "Indeed." He says, "You wear these boots and your steps will make no sound, regardless of whether you are walking on a carpet of dried leaves or gravel or smooth stone. You will also be a bit more stealthy wearing these." So is there anybody who would be interested in having boots of elven kind, and especially somebody who hasn't gotten anything yet in the way of magic items? I want to try to avoid loading down one character with too many things and having some people bump around with nothing.
I'm definitely interested. Nobody else is. I don't think I've received anything yet.
Well, you can have this staff of bird calls.
What?
The staff of bird calls.
Golly.
What part of Stafford bird calls don't you understand?
Wizard is like, yeah, okay, every time there's a powerful magic item, it really should be in the care of somebody who knows magic. All right, if nobody else wants it, I can go ahead and give those to L. So let me go ahead and do that. Well, I do that. Yeah, let me give that to L. Oh, save. Okay. I may have to do this again, but I want to go ahead and whoops. All right. Well, I can't do that until I do this. There we go. Okay. And I'll just go ahead on the stream, show the stream those, and I'm going to go back and put them in L's journal. All right, so nice boots of elven kind, and L, you can add those to your inventory. This adventure should have those in the list of magic items that can be added to your character sheet.
Okay.
All right. So, once again, nice feast for the evening, and everybody is welcome to spend the night. The centaurs excitedly start talking about going back and recovering the Circle of Thunder, and they kind of are wondering how many of the rest of their kin have survived, and you can hear them at some point talking to Falcon, and Falcon seems to indicate that he can have his some of his forest friends go out and look to see if there are any other scattered centaurs, and by way of either relaying messages or somehow pass a message that that the Circle of Thunder has been cleared and they can return home. And so they all excitedly talk about heading back that way the next morning. And so we're going to have watches again for the night.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing as before.
I can do a watch.
I think it's pretty safe, so I'll just sleep.
Okay, so this time Hyza will
Dorothy's going
sleep.
to sleep.
Her
Okay.
famous last words.
Okay, well, Abinadom will take, I guess, first watch. Hyza will sleep, and then L will take second watch. Okay, that's good. Because as elves, Abinadom only needs 4 hours of meditation, as does L. So they, that night, Abinadom, your watch passes uneventfully. And then L, same for you. Your watch passes uneventfully. And there is yet another morning. And your mounts, by the way, they look like they are very happy with the treatment they've been getting from the stable boy. He's given them plenty of sweet hay and brushing them down a couple of times a day, and he makes sure they have fresh water, and he walks them out around the yard, exercises them each a bit. They seem like they might be able to get used to this kind of lifestyle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, this might be in and out, but I've actually got something small here with Pell and horses.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna hope I can hear you throughout most of this.
Okay.
It's in and it's out. But it's like. So because this has to do with Osprey, actually, Finn goes into the stable, and let's see. Well, we'll just say for argument's sake, perceives that the horses and Penn are getting along. He can tell that the horses and Penn are getting along.
Okay.
And just How big is Pin? Pin's boy.
Pell, yeah, he's like he's like 12, so maybe he's like 4.5, close to 5 feet tall. And kind of a skinny kid, all skin and bones, and he looks healthy. He doesn't look malnourished or anything, but he's just he's just kind of a skinny kid.
Hey, Palzer, you ride?
He looks at you, and he cocks his head a little bit, like he didn't quite understand you, like the DM didn't quite hear what you said.
Hey, Palzer, you ride? He pats up. He goes up whatever horse he's been riding in on. He pats the horse.
Oh, and then Pell looks at you and he nods. And he pantomimes holding reins and leaning down over the horse like he's galloping.
Yeah. Which one do you ride?
And he goes over. I did not take this one. He goes over and he takes a big handful of oats out of a sack, and he comes over to this horse here, which is not one that you all brought in, and he pats that horse, and the horse clearly knows this human, and responds to him with whickers, and greedily eats the oats that are proffered, and seems very happy.
I didn't get most of that.
Oh, okay. Anyway, this horse here. Make a long story short, is the one he indicates. This one. Is everybody else able to hear me? Is it?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, we heard.
Yeah.
Okay, so it must be on Finn's end or Vernon's end. Sorry about that, man.
So has he been petting or brushing the horses very nicely?
Yep.
Those are the most pampered horses in the kingdom.
Pretty much.
So I disconnected and reconnected. I didn't get any of that narrative there.
Gorrim will give him an extra silver piece.
As
everybody
Dorzaphir likes to do, I go and give the boy a gold piece to upshow Gorrim and show him how proper, being a proper polite person is. Here you go, my lad. Here's a gold piece. You've done a wonderful job.
And he looks at you both. He looks at the coins in his hand, and he looks at you both, kind of confused. And he smiles, and he holds the coins back out for you, like he doesn't want them, or he doesn't need them.
Oh, I'm so proud to see a person that loves doing their job, and they love doing what they love doing. But no, it's for you, son. Keep it.
And after a bit, Falcon will appear. He will come out, and he will see some of what's going on, and he will say, "Oh, no, Pell, it's fine. If in the city, this is how folks show that they appreciate the job you've done, is they give you coin. I know we don't go to the city often, but next time we do, you will have some coin of your own that you can spend on something that you want. And the lad looks at Falcon, and he looks back at the two of you, and he smiles, and then he gives a very odd sounding laugh. It's the laugh of someone that sounds like maybe all of their vocal cords and stuff aren't quite right. But the expression on his face shows pure joy, and he tucks the coins into a little pocket, and he
he's a
just
tart.
beams.
I pull Gorrim aside and go, Gorrim, you're so cheap.
Well, I didn't want the boy to go buy a bunch of candy and rot his teeth out.
What are you talking about? You don't have any teeth.
And
It's
neither
all the
will he.
fights.
I got teeth. I got all my teeth, right? Hey, wait a
Finn,
minute.
yes, Finn, you have all your teeth. Here's a mirror. There you go,
Uh,
boy.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I was going to go right in here a minute ago. What happened?
Oh, well, yeah, he wasn't quite sure what you were wanting to do either.
And then somebody else came in, but I don't know who it was. And then the first thing I heard was somebody was paying the kid.
Yeah, yeah. It was unfortunately with all the connection problems. They decided to come out, and they offered the kid some coins for taking care of the horses during the last couple of nights and day. So, yeah, Falcon says, "Well, friends, where are you headed off to?" And as soon as breakfast is over, the 4 centaurs they will head off. Xanth will thank you all for your help, but then he and the other centaurs are eager to get going, so they will head off and sort of be on their way, unless anybody wants to say anything in particular to them before they go.
Thank you
Stay
very much
safe.
for your hospitality.
Okay.
The food and beer were good. Thank
And Falcon will say, "Oh, yes, well, your help with clearing these parts of the Orc menace was more than worth the
Oh.
hospitality. Where are you all bound, if I may ask?"
We're headed to Fandolin.
Ah, Fandolin. Well, tell old Harbinwester that Falcon says hello.
Will do.
Hey, I'm hoping I get this scene at least.
Okay.
Falcon, so you like the man out here, right? You know everything about how to do a lot of hunting.
Yes, I do. I know the value of keeping the population of the animals at a sustainable level.
So we're getting ready to go on a great big hunting trip.
Oh, one heck of a hunting trip.
Imagine just the kind of big flying animal that likes to be around mountains.
Ah, you intend to track down and finish off that dragon that you faced earlier.
You know, you're the only guy that's smart enough that we met on this trip that can figure that out.
Well, most folk live their entire lives believing that dragons are just myths and fairy stories. Some of us, some people in the city wish that they could see a dragon, but the folk who have faced a dragon, most of them hope they never see it again.
Mm-hmm. So you got us figured for the type that runs to see the dragon the second time.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I do. But all I can say is this. I hope you find it soon. From the reports I have, both from the occasional hunter in the last few months and from my forest friends, I would take this dragon for a juvenile. If it is not stopped and slain soon, it will grow ever larger and become ever more powerful. And I think perhaps the encounter you had with it before may not be quite as one-sided as Master Dwarf tells it.
No, that was pretty one-sided. I mean, it came, it saw, it ran away.
Yet I'll find it with my sword and I'll finish it this time. Me and old Dragon Slayer.
That's the only thing I'm concerned about. How do we get it to come back? If that thing has that brain, it's gonna run away every time it sees us coming.
Well, that is where you must try to track it to its lair. I can send my forest friends out to see if they have any knowledge of where the lair of this creature is. Are you all familiar?
And dragon layers are to be gilded with gold, they say.
That is what they say. A dragon's lair is also the place that a dragon will stand and defend with its last drop of blood. So be ready for a fierce fight from the beast, should you corner it in its lair.
So we need to figure out how to get it out of its lair. That's the problem.
Well, if you get it out of its lair, it will retreat there until it is ready to fight again. If you wish to finish it off, you will have to follow it into its lair and finish it there.
I see.
Tell me, are any of you familiar with the Animal Messenger spell? It is one of the magics that I have available to me.
I am not.
Well, then I will ask you, should you see a small woodland creature that seems unnaturally drawn to you, say a hedgehog or a fox or a rabbit or something of that nature,
Oh,
that
no, don't send the foxes. Foxes are always drawn.
Boo, Finn. It will. Do not be so swift to take aggressive action against it right away. It may be a messenger from me.
Gorrim.
When it gets close enough, it may speak to you in my voice with a brief message I have given it. If I can determine where this lair is, or if my forest friends can determine where this lair is, I will send a message to you by the animals that I know.
We'd appreciate it.
Okay. So he has fresh water skins for you. He also has a small, like 5-gallon keg of ale and another 5-gallon keg of mead.
Don't drink it all.
Gorrim.
And he has some other provisions for the road, some fresh nuts and like a granola type snack that will keep on the road for you. That's a little bit more tasty than trail rations. And he loads you up with that, and he bids you farewell. Unless there's any other questions you all have for him.
I appreciate your hospitality.
Well, and I am certainly glad to make your acquaintance. If you succeed in facing and slaying this dragon, you will have to come back and tell me of the tale, and we will have reason to celebrate yet again.
I'm sure Finn will write an awesome song about it.
And he looks at Finn and he says, a song I would dearly love to hear once it's composed and ready for performance. And his swift journey, farewell, and may your horse's hooves bear you swiftly to your journey's end.
Horses hooves bear you swiftly to journey's end. That's a good one.
And then he, kind of like the end of a Beverly Hillbillies episode, he and the two servants will sort of walk you out to the gate, and they'll stand out in front of the gate, and they'll all stand there and wave as you ride off, and they'll keep waving until you're out of sight.
They're still waving. Don't look at that. They're still waving back there. And why do they have that stupid look on their faces?
And instead of the end credits, the credits say it's time for a break pop up. So we'll go ahead and take a break. I have 53 after the hour. Let's come back at the top of the hour, and we will finish out our session.
10-4.
All right. Hey, chat, thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to take a brief break, and then we will be back. I'll put on some music to keep you guys hopefully a little entertained.
Not entertained.
Yeah. Yes. And chat, you guys can help me out if you want. I put Nightbot on, so you can test some of the commands you would normally use on a chat. See if they're working correctly. See what's what there. Let me know if I have done something incredibly dumb in setting it up.
Yo, James,
Yo, what's up?
did you want those boots?
No, I was just giving you a hard time because it's like I've got this staff of bird calls and this like sending stuff. I'm like, and then something like really cool comes out. I'm like, oh crap! I should have held on. I should have held off.
That was my game plan the whole time. Just reject everything until something good came along. I
Well,
don't know.
like no one wanted this other stuff. So I was like, okay, well, no one wants it. But yeah, those are awesome.
I don't know if I can make use of it though. I mean, we'll see.
Well, if you're trying to get positioned to take someone out with your arrows, I mean, they could be pretty good.
But it's only for sound. Yeah, it's not going to be sight or anything like that.
Yeah, it's good for a thief, or I mean, like a rogue. I mean, sneaking up behind someone, that's awesome. Yeah. You were like totally quiet last week.
I hate to admit it, but I was feeling pretty bad, and I actually fell asleep towards the end.
You're like totally quiet. I was like, is he like not interested? What's going on?
It was one of those things where I probably shouldn't have been here, but because I was home, I refused to miss it. So I just passed.
You're just like super tired.
Tired and a little bit sick. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. I just want to make sure you're like, you feel engaged. Like you want to do something rather than just kind of hide off in the shadows. I know you were like trying to go through this whole campaign without getting injured.
Yeah, that was out the window. But yeah, I'm the type of player where I'm just going to play my character, and this character just happens to be the keep watch guy. But I still enjoy you guys, role playing and playing the game. So I don't need to be in the thick of it to to enjoy it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm still so new at this stuff. I'm kind of like wanting more people to talk.
Yeah, you're kind of the face of the party.
And my charisma is horrible. I'm like -1 charisma, so I'm like I'm the absolute worst person to be the face.
All right. Welcome back, everybody.
We're here.
Okay. Yeah, I did a couple of things this week. I set up Nightbot on the Twitch. Because I've noticed in the past, occasionally somebody will come by and wonder how long the stream has been up, and Nightbot will automatically tell them if they type in the command. And I also discovered, in digging a little bit more into the features Twitch has, I discovered something called auto host, where when you are not streaming, you can set up a list of other channels that your host will that your channel will automatically host and broadcast whatever they are doing. So I've been spending the last few days, about the last week, looking for daytime streamers that have kind of low viewer count streams while they're playing D&D, and I've been adding them to auto host. So hopefully if people drop by our channel when I'm not broadcasting, they'll say, oh, well, there's another D&D game, and they can watch that. And then I've made contact with several of those other channel hosts, and so they may turn around and put me on their auto host list as well. So we may pick up a few viewers from time to time through that. So
Gonna have to. There's so many games under the D&D category that if you don't make connections, you're pretty much gonna be down at the bottom.
Yeah. So I figure, well, it doesn't really. I'm not really going to help Matt Mercer by auto hosting Critical Role, or I'm not going to help Penny Arcade by auto hosting the Acquisitions Incorporated game. So I might as well focus on other people who are low viewer count streamers like me, and then by banding together, maybe we can help each other out.
It also helps if the players that are capable actually log into the stream and mute it. That'll get you above, those 0, 1, 2 viewers up past, 5. That'll help a lot. That's like
Okay. Well, if anybody has Twitch installed and wants to do that, I would welcome players in the game.
I'm actually one of the loyal viewers who have been here from the beginning.
Okay. All right. Nice. Cool. All right. Well, thank you. Okay. Then let's see. We will go back to the Sword Coast map. And hey, Mike. Okay, good, cool. And we will hit the. You guys head out from the Falcon's Lodge, and there's a game trail you can follow. And we'll say that. Let's see, how far is it? That's about 50 miles. Well, you can make. You could make a good 25 miles in the day. So you get out here to the Tribor Trail, and if you really want to push your horses, you can probably push them and try to get back by going double speed, but the horses themselves are going to need at least a full day's rest if you do that.
We just gave them a 2 days pre-rest.
Okay, so you feel like maybe they owe you a little? Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you double time it for the first half of the day, and then I'll ask each of you to give me an animal handling to see if the horses are willing to push it double time for the other half of the day.
And not my horse.
Well, I haven't met best, and yet I still am like, you know what? Let's roll an 8.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dorzaphir, Abinadom, and Hyza, your horse is kind of like, okay, yeah, we're kind of not into this. So, you try to get more speed out of them in the afternoon, and they just are not they're not going to have that. So,
Let's roll them that 20.
You would be able to push yours, but none of the rest of your party seems to be able to get much out of theirs afternoon. So it's up to you if you want to leave them behind and run on up to Phandalin.
Nah, I might just go 100 yards or so every now and then just to scout in front of us. But
Okay. All right. Well, that will work. So yeah, you maybe. I'm gonna say you guys get to about right here by the end of the day. And let's see. I need to go here. I need to take a look at this and this and this. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, you all want to set watches for the night for your camp?
I'll take one for the night. I think we let the elves do enough.
I shall.
the thing is, though, with the elves, like, we're going to be standing there anyway, so we might as well just take the watch so you guys can get your rest. Or even double up.
I'm feeling pretty good. I might as well.
Okay.
Plus, I don't mind staying up late.
You guys can give me a perception check. Whoever's on the first watch can give me a perception check.
I'll take
What's
the
with
first.
the eights?
I'll take the first one. Oh,
Okay.
or is Dorzaphir done? I don't know.
Well, if you want
Well-
to sit there with me, I mean, you know,
Maybe we can add our numbers together.
right?
Well, you can roll for Bandit.
Oh,
and
I
he
do get
would
a roll. He gets advantage.
He would get advantage.
Yeah, let me because he's got the same. He's got the same. Let's see. Perception.
I guess me and Abinadom are sitting there catching up and just talking, not paying attention.
Okay.
Ooh.
He doesn't get a +4 though. He only gets a he's got +3, so he's got an 18.
18. Okay. Well, the problem is that Dorzaphir and Abinadom have such bad perception checks that they don't hear the whoo that Bandit lets out, and so they do not notice the little badger that comes up into the camp and sniffs around and finds one of the little small sacks that has the granola in it, and chews a hole in that, and then starts munching on the granola. And so when those of you who are going to be on the second watch get up, you see that one of the small sacks, and this would be like a sack you wear off of your belt. It's not like a big backpack or anything. One of those has a hole in it, and there's granola scattered on the ground, and there's this little badger sitting there just crunching on it. And Abinadom and Dorzaphir seem totally clueless.
What else is new?
Oh, the little thing just seems a little bit hungry.
Of course, Hyza would say that.
Okay, so who's on second watch?
I am.
Second watch being the second half or the
I guess if the humans are watching, they would have 2-hour watches. If elves are watching, they could do a 4-hour watch. So
right.
yeah, that depends on your race. So if you're human, then you would get up after a couple hours and take a couple hour watch. If you're elf, you would get up in the middle of the night and watch the rest of the night.
So when you say second watch, you do mean like the third and fourth hour?
Yeah, like the third, fourth. No, that is if there's a human in the watch rotation.
But there is.
Okay, so yeah, Hyza, you see this cute little badger there, munching on something. He's completely destroyed one of your bags, one of your belt pouches. Pouch is the word I was looking for, not bag. He's destroyed one of the belt pouches and has made a mess with the granola on the ground by the campsite.
She'll be a little bit upset that the pouch is ruined and just went in, but she'll like softly scoosh it off, like off the granola, saying, and then thinking for a moment, wait, didn't Falcon say that he was going to send a little familiar out? She'll go and try and find someone who was on the watch beforehand and ask them, which would be Abinadom and Dorzaphir, right?
Well,
So
Abinadom will still be up for the second hour, so you the third and fourth hour, so you can talk to him. He'll be there until half the night is gone, and then he'll go meditate.
Yes. Yeah.
You know animals.
Oh, where does Badger come from?
Rodent.
Where does Badger come from? Yes. Falcon did say to keep an eye out for a little woodland creature. And I walk over to the Badger and I look at it, and
You walk over to it, and it scurries off and runs off into the woods. Clearly afraid of humans or human-like creatures. You get the impression that that's not what an animal messenger would do. An animal messenger would have a message and would come and tell you the message. So this is probably just a normal woodland creature.
Guess that wasn't it.
Hyza will softly and pick up like the granola bag with what is left in it and follow the road and where it went and drop the pouch a safe distance away as she goes back to go take her watch around the camp.
Okay. All right. So, Hyza, you can roll me a perception check for your watch. Okay. Yep. Nothing untoward happens. Okay. So, middle of the night, the one elf, Abinadom, is done with his watch. Who's on the next watch? Are we going to have a human or an elf or a combination there?
I will be there for the second half.
Okay. All right. Is anybody going to be up with Elle for the third and fourth, or the fifth and sixth hour?
Taking the last 4, I guess.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give me a perception check, Elle. Yeah. Rest of the night passes uneventfully. You hear the sound of the night birds and the night insects, and there's a little bit of a breeze. Not too bad. There's some scattered clouds, and the stars are twinkling brightly up in the sky. And yeah, so the morning dawns, and as the day okay, as the day starts and you begin to get ready, everybody get ready to resume your journey. Everybody can give me a perception check as you're striking the camp.
Finally, a good roll.
I cannot believe my rolls today. Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. Dorzaphir, you notice something. Rather, you notice the absence of something as you're getting ready in the morning. And the absence that you notice is the normal sound of creatures from the woods. It's a bit of a everything is a bit too quiet.
like when the dragon if you know this, it's like when the dragon showed up at the camp when we were there, and how all the creatures got.
It feels a little eerily like that. Yes, you could say. You could say that. And I'm grabbing all of your tokens from the previous map, and I'm going to bring them over here.
I quietly speak to everyone quickly and say, everyone quickly, we need to go to like the wood line, something we need to get down, something is not right.
Okay. Because I copied your tokens over, I think you guys will all should be able to control them. So you can move to wherever you wish. These stones here, they're going to be big enough that somebody can hide behind them and get cover. You can take cover in the edge of these woods if you wish. And of course, if you wish to be out in the open, you can do that as well.
I grab the horses with me and my horse and whoever, and I hide them in the woods as well.
Okay.
So they're right here along this edge, so they can't be seen. Wouldn't hurt to roll a stealth check too. I see Eldon did that too. There we go.
Seeing how he's hiding his horse, I'll follow him and hide my horse with his. If I can.
Okay.
Finn, what are you doing? Get back here.
And
it's not time to showboat.
Finn looks like he has found a nice big rock to hide behind.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Four corners.
And as you look to the east, and we'll say this road is this road is running east and west. As you look to the east, to the sun, is there something there? Is there something coming out of the sunrise in the sky in your direction? Maybe it is. Maybe. And then, in fact, it does grow larger. And you do, in fact, see in the sky, rather low, you see a young white dragon. And it is flying right out of the sunrise in your direction. Now, Gorrim, do I take it that you are
He's going balls to the wall.
Okay, you're standing in the middle of the road. Okay, well,
where's he at?
It's going to be way at the top of your map is where the dragon is.
Well, no, I was talking about Gorrim. He's not in the chat. Oh, crap.
Oh, is he not in?
He's not in the Discord. Did he drop out? It might be his phone or something. Yeah.
Okay, it looks like he's still on Roll20. So, are you with us? We're about to start a combat. Okay.
A big one at that.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see. Yeah, unfortunately, Discord's been being crazy with people tonight.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to give him... Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I know that I'm pretty sure that Gorrim would not run and hide, but I'm going to give him the benefit of hiding behind this boulder here. And say that if he winds up showing back up, he can roll initiative and join in with us. And speaking of rolling initiative, everybody can go ahead and roll initiative if you would like to. Of course, if you would not like to, then I will just kill you without you getting any turns, but
TPK, TPK.
Okay, so this is going to be phooey. Add turn. Okay. And this is 15. All right.
I thought I had my token selected, but I didn't.
Yeah, 15.10. Just in case there are any other ties. Abinadom is a 14. Where is he? He is there. And what's your dex score, Abinadom? It's 18. Is that it?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, 18.
Okay. All right. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. And then I will need to go and populate. Okay, 16 and 52. Where is L? Where did L go? Okay, naturally. 52, 52, 16. Okay. Then, all right, let me go ahead and start with the turns. Dorzaphir.
I rolled great initiative this time.
Yeah, you are up first.
So I'm already hidden. It can't see me. Let's see how far I am. 50 feet. That should be enough. Yes, for my light crossbow.
Okay. All right,
And
see.
I keep reading sneak attack wrong for some freaking reason. I don't have to have advantage, but it can't see me. It doesn't give me advantage.
Yeah, there's okay.
I always get that wrong.
The only way you'd get sneak attack is if you have advantage or you've got an ally next to the person you're attacking.
Got you. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll roll my roll.
Dragon of Icespire. Let's see where.
Not with that. That just pisses it off.
Okay, hang on. Come on. Oh, come on. Quit showing me all the stupid features. All right, so 14 and 39. 39, 14. Okay. All right. So Dorzaphir, that attack was an 8. Nope, that missed. So that was your attack, and then your stealth to hide.
Bonus action, hide.
Okay, sounds good. All right, L, you are up.
So does it seem like he knows we're here?
Oh yeah, seems like he knows. He is, and he's attacking in a way that indicates he's kind of understands how to use the advantage of coming out of the sun to be
So-
harder to see.
So, do stealth checks beforehand have any effect, or does he just have that dragon sense type of stuff?
Well, he knows the party is there. That's not necessarily that he knows an individual person is there. He knows the party is there because presumably he saw you all before he set up and started his attack run. He's, kind of like he's about to try to strafe the party. If you all have started to run and duck and dive for cover, then that's going to be
Okay.
whether his perception check on his turn beats your stealth checks or not.
And is there anything giving us disadvantage to like a ranged attack, for instance, right?
It's the only thing would be if you're beyond your short range or your normal range for your weapon. If you're in the second increment for the long range of your weapon, then yes, you would have disadvantage on it.
Okay, I'm just gonna action surge and unload 4 shots at him.
Okay. All right.
Oof.
Yikes.
Okay, so that's 2 hits. The 25 and the 20 will both hit. The other 2 will miss. Okay, so 11 and 9, that's 20 points of damage.
And I'm actually gonna move and try to get out of like a line here to about right here.
God, this is where we need Gorrim because he has Dragon Slayer. Dang it.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
I don't know. He went idle on Discord.
Oh.
Yeah, he's still showing on Roll20, and I've reached out to him. I'm gonna. Yeah, he's not showing on. I'm just gonna send him a direct message and see if.
Because, like I said, that's what sucks. He has the Dragon Slayer sword. So if the dragon lands to the ground, he could attack it.
Okay. So I just sent him a PM on Discord. If he is by his phone or something, has any way of knowing what's going on, that will get him. Okay, so who actively did a? Well, actually, Dorzaphir, you.
It was L.
No, I'm
L just
sorry,
went.
L. You shot and then ran out into the middle of the road.
Yep.
So, all right. So he's going to make his. What is his speed? His speed is 80. Okay, so now what was this? How does this happen? 40. Okay, all right. So we'll go ahead and we will move it to there. And then let me check his. Let me check how far he is from Dorzaphir. Oh, he's 30 feet. And
It's L right there.
or yeah, L. Okay. Yeah. All right, L. You are the only target that he has. So he is going to.
Nice knowing y'all.
He is going to let out a cone.
Oh, that was cool.
Actually, it should be this because this effect is better. Okay, yeah, there we go. There.
That's awesome.
Oh, but darn it.
He's got all the cool effects now.
I looked away and missed it.
Yeah, well, and I didn't have it positioned right for the stream, so I'm gonna redo it again for them. Okay,
That
now,
is too cool.
Oh,
Shiny,
so
sparkly.
he breathes, and I need you, L, to make a Constitution saving throw. Oh, it is L's lucky day. 15 is exactly what he needs for this. So that means he is going to take half of this damage.
Good Lord.
Ooh.
That'd be 19.
So 19 points. That is a young category dragon for you. One of the weaker dragons with its breath weapon, dealing 38 points of damage. So, 19 of which L will take. And whoops, dadgummit. Sorry.
I'm the monster now.
Right. L's breathing that cone of cold there.
Yeah. And so he's hurt, but not completely. And the dragon, that's as far as he can move and take an action, so he can't do anything else. The good thing about young dragons is they do not yet have legendary actions. So they cannot take actions on somebody else's turn. So we are now to Abinadom.
Okay, I'm gonna cast haste on myself,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna simultaneously. So I don't have Bandit on here, but Bandit's gonna go over, distract him, and then he's basically gonna go 30 feet, distract, and then come back close to me, and then I'm gonna shoot him with my longbow.
I don't think you can because you casted a spell. That's one action.
But I cast haste. So
that gives him a second action.
I get an extra. I get an extra attack.
True.
You go, boy.
So, and it's advantage.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, let's see. What was that? Very nice. Okay, so that deals 20 points of damage. And
No, that's just 11.
11 points of damage. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we're going to do this as Bandit. It's controlled by Abinadom. And you can see the nameplate. All right. So there you go. So now you should be able to.
And then comes back here.
Okay. All right. So 11 points of damage to him, which he does not like. All right. Hyza, my friend.
Let's see if it wants to work with me tonight. And no, it does not. I'm going to cast that at a 3rd level. For some reason, it does not want to let me choose my level.
Okay. All right. Well, 16 is not good enough to hit. So
And I'll move
that-
30
So that will miss. Your guiding bolt will miss him. And then do you want to move? Okay, yeah, you want to move. All right. So she runs out there. Okay, anything else you want to do with a bonus action or anything?
Nope.
All right. Then FINN Finn. In the house.
Fantasia. Fantasia. No, Phantasmal Force. That's what it is. Gonna make
Okay.
Do I see him from here? Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah, you see him.
Okay, that's because he's in the air.
He is in the air, and he's a large creature. So, yes, you see him.
Okay, so that makes sense from there. There is movement, though. I just wanted to do that.
So, let's
this sort of
see. He has to do an intelligence save. Oh, that's failure. So, he's
That-
going to take.
Is -2.
You know what
Yeah.
he sees?
Okay, what does he see? Or was that a legitimate question to me? What does he see?
Lady Terramore Algondar.
Oh, snap. Okay. Yes, there is an ancestral memory in dragonkind in these parts that you can tell there's kind of a shudder that goes through him as he shakes his head and tries to shake off that damage. Did I? Yeah, I did give him that damage. Okay. All right. Dorzaphir.
Yes.
You may go.
Yes, I'm going to this time cast a firebolt.
Okay. Yes. That just misses.
Vroom. And I'm going to hide again.
Okay. All right. And okay, I'll let. Ooh,
There you go.
Nice. L. Okay, that dragon. Oof. That was brisk.
Yeah.
That dragon is a lot closer now. What would you like to do?
Do I feel like this boulder I was behind before would soak up any of that if I was behind it?
Well, you get the feeling that if you tried to run to that boulder, the dragon would probably know exactly where you went. And it might save you from breath, but if it can get its jaws or its claws on you, that still might hurt a little bit. And you can tell it flies very fast. So,
All right. Well, I'm gonna take my chances. I'm running over here, second wind, and then fire
okay.
2 shots.
Okay, well, one of those will. Okay, for 7 points of damage. All right, and the dragon is going to is going to fly right at L. And when he gets there, he is going to make 3 attacks.
Oh shit!
He is going to attack. Oh, wait a minute. Did he? I need to roll a d6 here. Nope. Okay. Breath weapon did not discharge, or recharge, I should say. So he gets 1 bite, and he gets 2 claws. 23 with a claw, 15 with a claw, and
One
8
misses.
with a
Oh, sh-
bite.
Oh, jeez.
So take 11 points of slashing damage from the
I
claw.
It's revenge.
You take 24 points of piercing damage from the bite and 2 points of cold damage from the bite.
That's 37 total, right?
26 and 11, yes, 37 total.
Ouch. Somebody help me.
You're standing?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still up.
Yeah, because he
Cool.
did that.
He's
He
a fighter.
did that self
Second
healing.
win.
And yeah, that gave him 14 points. What are you at?
I'm at 10.
Yeah, by my count,
Woo!
10, and he's bloodied. And the dragon roars and continues to fly by and goes off to the out over the river.
Question. When he leaves, do I get my attack of opportunity?
You sure do get your attack of opportunity when he
I
leaves.
got a bow in my hand, but can I hold it in one hand and punch with the other?
Yeah, you can do that.
You're
Yeah.
going to do unarmed damage on
Hell
the dragon.
yes, I am. So that's what, D20 plus strength. So it'll be 1 D20
D20
plus proficiency. What's my proficiency?
Well, are you proficient with unarmed?
Everybody is, according to the rule book.
Okay. I thought just want to do this.
I think you can actually check unarmed combat in the compendium in Roll 20 here, and it shows that everyone is proficient.
Unarmed strike. You can
You can punch, kick, headbutt, or use familiar forceful blow and deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1 plus your strength modifier.
Okay. And you get your proficiency bonus with that as well?
It doesn't say.
If
it
he's a
just says
fighter, I imagine if he's a fighter, he would.
Oh,
should
okay.
be-
Yeah. Because normally that's the thing with monks is monks usually get that extra kick because they're specially trained in unarmed fighting. Okay. So go ahead and roll your attack, and we'll say you go ahead and add your proficiency bonus for now. Okay. Yeah. That you take that big bite, and that jaw kind of rips out of you, and as you try to swing, your shoulder just isn't quite working right, and that really hurt to try to punch. But the dragon flies off and lets out this mighty roar, and the dragon then flies off the map and up and away and out of the encounter.
Ah, crap.
Actually, Abinadom, what range do you have on your spell?
I've got 150.
Okay.
I have 120.
Okay. Anybody who has over 100 feet on their spell between now and the next time, 100 feet on a ranged attack or a spell, between now and the next time the dragon's turn would come around, I'll let you go ahead and get a shot in. So Abinadom, go ahead.
Yeah, I get 2 shots. So first, I'm going to hit him with this.
Okay.
Ooh.
Weak numbers though. Jeez.
Yeah.
DC 15.
Can you target a creature with that?
Oh, he can target a point, and
Yeah,
it will bloom in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me bring this. I gotta go and bring this guy back on the. Wait, let's see if this will work. No, that doesn't work. Control Z doesn't work.
I guess he's got a nice fancy feature for Fireball now.
Well, what I was trying to do is I was trying to see if I could bring the dragon back onto the screen since I had removed him from the screen. I could not. So I'm just going to put him here, and he was sitting at 96. So he failed his thing. So he takes 25 from the fireball. All right. And let's see. Still not bloodied. All right. So that was Abinadom. Hyza, you had a long range spell.
His longest level again, 3rd.
24 will hit. So that's 4d6.
It'd be 66. Goodness gracious.
66. So roll 66. 31 points of damage.
Ooh.
Wow. Boom. Okay.
Oh,
now
oh.
the dragon is bloodied.
And if a person wants to shoot again or has an option to shoot again, they get advantage.
Nice.
Okay.
I lost you guys for a sec. You got my longbow, right?
I did
Sorry.
not. So
It was
there you
just
go.
18 for
Yeah.
5.
Yep. Okay. Finn, you are up.
Well, first of all, he still believes Lady Terramore is in the party, so he's got this.
Okay. DC.
He has to use his action at this point to disbelieve that Lady Terramore is in the party.
God.
Yeah.
No, he can't make a save. Not that he did, but he also can't make this.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then we have this. Which is probably this.
Okay. What are you doing with that? The 15 fire bolt?
The Phantasmal Force's concentrations.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You should be able to click on the firebolt on your character sheet, and it should roll it for you.
It does not appear on my character.
Okay.
Drag it over.
All right. Okay. Yeah. 15 will miss.
That's
Oh, with advantage?
I'm going to let the next guy take care of that.
Okay.
I'll try to hit it with firebolt. I should be within distance. Hold on.
Yeah. What's your range on that?
120.
Yeah. You're within range. So go ahead.
Perfect. Please hit. Oh, that one. Oh, no.
Advantage?
Advantage. Wait, Finn passed the advantage. 19.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's little wisps of smoke trailing off of its wings now. It's been hit with so much fire, which it really doesn't like. Well, let me just double check something. Yeah, okay. No. All right. That's fine. And last but not least, Elle, we're back to you. It still is within normal range of your longbow, so you can take a
it
couple
down,
of shots.
L.
No, I haven't. I just don't have it today, boys.
Okay, that's all right. 7. All right. Well, you all have tangled with this thing for a second time, and the roar it gave as after it attacked L was a roar of anger, and now its roars have a decidedly pained sound as it flies away, and
Is it still
recedes from the
smoking? Can we
combat.
follow it?
You can. Well, it flies very fast, so you all cannot keep up with it. Because if it goes its full movement, it will outfly the speed that even your horses can gallop. And, and then it can go, of course, right over the woods and across. So, you know, you would have to basically going full speed. You would have to go along the road, and then if you went under the canopy of the trees, you would have a hard time telling where it's going. So, yeah, you would not be able to follow it very long.
As he's flying away, I cast fly myself, and I start flying after, and I say, "Yeah, that's right, you beast, you ugly white beast, you just fly away, big flying turkey." And
Okay.
and then I come back.
Okay, so yeah, you can tell, even if you fly as fast as the spell will allow you, you can tell that the dragon is still faster and is pulling away from you.
Yeah. I just did it for showmanship.
I was going to say,
Okay.
I wish you would go up there and stay and watch which direction it flies in, because being that hurt, it's probably flying right back towards its lair.
Yeah, it.
I probably lose sight of it though as it reaches the ridge of the mountains. I have no idea where he's.
Yeah, it will. It will fly basically. Let me see. Let me go back to the other map here.
I was just using that as a point of reference, Abinadom. I was like, well, if you're up high enough, you can watch which direction it goes. Don't mean that we could follow it, but I mean, you would kind of get a generalized idea. Well, okay, we went really far east or really far west and then just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually it did. It came at you from the east on the road, and then when it flies away, it begins. So here, it attacked you coming this way, you know, out of the sunrise, and then as it went off, it turned and didn't exactly go right back the way it came, but it kind of went off in this direction. And there are some low, rounded hills, and pretty soon, I don't know how long Abinadom stays up in the air, but even if he stays up in the air, maybe 30 seconds or a minute, pretty soon it goes around one of those hills and is lost to view. But it's heading in that general direction.
Yeah.
And beyond those hills, you can see the high mountains. So it's headed towards those high mountains, some of which are always covered in ice and snow the year round. Of course, the perfect kind of habitat for a white dragon.
Where is Gorrim when we need him? Because while it was over there attacking L, he probably could have slashed it. Oh.
Probably could have, yeah.
Oh, it makes me sad.
Damn thing landed in the road 20 feet from him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh, missed opportunity.
All right. So after that bit of an exciting start to the day, it takes you maybe half an hour to get the horses calmed to a point where they will do anything but just simply look like they want to jump out of their skin. But once you get them calmed down, you can get to Phandalin by the afternoon. And you return. And of course, Harbin Wester is there, and his brother has been back for a couple of days now from the logging camp. He was able to get back 2 days ago, and so you all get your let's see, what did the logging camp pay you? Let me just double check that. Loggers camp. Okay. Come on. Oh, that's right. Looking in the wrong place. Look back over here. Adventure begins. Okay, beginning quest, and then blah blah, and then blah 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 blah. Follow up quest, Loggers Camp. Okay, so you all will get a total of 200 gold pieces each for the Loggers Camp. And let's see. There's nothing there. All right.
It's 200 gold.
200 gold each. So everybody can add 200 gold to their inventory.
I'm rich.
I'm rich. You said that at the same time.
Yeah.
I have 645 gold.
Oh, I've got 502. You got a lot more than I do.
720.
You forget. Oh, she's got more. Whoa.
What?
Hey, JLP. Thanks for joining us on the stream. Yeah,
Oh,
these
that's
guys.
me. That's me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I said, wow, these guys are really strong. They just chased away a dragon.
Oh, okay. All right,
So-
good.
oh, that's
Well,
right. I spent some money, though. That's right. And I was giving money away like it was going out of style.
So, and that's a great point to end our session, except there will be a little coda to our session, which is the first full day that you are in Phandalin. You receive a message from a hawk. And the message is in, it comes and it lands nearby. One of you will just say, for the heck of it, we'll just say L. And L, it tells you in Falcon's voice, seek out Icespire Hold. That is where the dragon has made its lair.
Would I know of that place?
Well, give me a history check. See if you personally do. If you might ask around town.
Ooh.
Yeah, you wouldn't. So yeah, you guys, anybody who wants to, because unless, let me first check with L. L, would you tell the rest of your party what you heard?
100%.
Okay, so then everybody in the party who wants to can.
Nope.
And this would be like probably persuasion, talking to people in the town. You guys can make persuasion checks.
Oh, it's not history?
21.
There you go.
I was going to check it for history first.
Well, you
Oh,
could do
God.
that. Okay, yeah.
Good God.
When Finn hears that, he knows. And then when those of you who need to go the route of asking other people, like Dorzaphir, Dorzaphir can confirm with by talking to actually the woman over at the Miners Exchange. Icespire Hold is in fact over in this area here. And it is on this like little spur of this mountain.
So I go back to Finn real quick. Finn, what do you know of Icespire Hold?
Well, with a 23 in the history, what he knows is it's a stone fortress perched on the icy northeast spur of Icespire Peak. There are some tales about a warlord named Delsendra Amzar, who built the stronghold and dwelled there for many years while she and her soldiers kept the orcs of the Sword Mountains in check. Then one year, when supply lines were cut off by heavy snow and blizzards during a brutal winter, Delsendra and her followers starved to death. Later, orcs took over the fortress, which was then damaged by an earthquake some 10 years after the orcs occupied it, and the fortress was never repaired. Several times you have met orcs that told you that they were driven out of their lair by the white dragon. So now you might have figured out where that is.
Finn, know any good songs about it? Testing 1, 2, Finn.
I'm hearing you. I'm working on it. I'm trying to put it in musical form.
Okay, well,
we will go. Hunting we will go.
Hey,
Right.
we are
The
at
first thing that came
time.
into my mind
Okay.
was the lyric 15 men on a dead man's chest. Yeah, it's like
Jesus.
15 men.
On an iceman's chest?
Yeah, 15 men on a dead man's chest was the first thing that popped into my head. And
Okay.
so I was trying to set up lyrics to that tune.
Okay. Well, if you wish to do so, you can take the week to do that.
I guess.
Yeah. You're welcome to try that during the week and then regale us with that to start off next week if you want to. It's a good time to give the bard a chance to compose a tune.
It's a little more complicated than freestyle. I can freestyle.
Yeah, sure. And that is going to do it for our session this evening. For those of you on the stream, or those of you in the game on the Discord, I want to let you know that the one shot that I did last month for COVIDCon has yielded a little bit of fruit, and that is there is another online convention that I saw advertised, and so I reached out to them and told them that I had written and run a one shot for the COVIDCon, and they said, "Oh, cool! Can you do one for us?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." So I don't know what I'm going to do. I know it's going to be something different and unique. It won't be the same thing I ran for COVIDCon. But the event is called Glitch Expo, and I've just dropped a link in the Discord chat. The website now is simply a list of links for people that want to sign up to be panelists or staff or artists or whatever. and they have announced the dates. It's going to be, I think, a Friday and Saturday, the 19th and 20th of June. I believe those are the correct dates. Problem is, it doesn't have that directly on their site at this point. But I think if you click the links, it will then tell you. June 19th and 20th, Friday and Saturday. So if you click on any of the links, it will give you that. But yeah, there's cosplay. They'll have creator things, panels, vendors, and artists. So if anybody's interested in doing something with that, you can do that. And I did reach out. I guess you guys already knew this because I reached out, started soliciting some ideas. I saw some good ideas. Vern and Ivy, thank you for tossing out some ideas. And then over on my Sunday game, a couple of people tossed out some ideas for things. I've actually reached out to the organizers of the con to find out if this is something that, if this is an established con that they've done before offline. Maybe they can give me an idea of perhaps what's popular among the people that usually attend. And that might give me some ideas of what to do as well. If there's something that would fit in and be particularly appealing to their established audience. So that is all I have. Anybody have any particular announcements for the week? Anything coming up that you want to let people know about if they come by and watch the stream later?
Announcements for the week for the stream.
Yeah, because
I got something for the other players because I was running into a problem with creating for the main game, which I think will be the same problem everybody has.
Go ahead,
folk. Although eventually I will have a podcast out.
Oh, I think you cut out and we missed part of what you said. You had a question for the others and then
I can't hear you.
Yeah, he keeps dropping.
Something about his podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually I will have a podcast about the attractions in the Smoky Mountains out. It's what I came here to do, but it's all closed currently. And that's fine because I'm still moving basically.
Okay. Yeah, we missed part of what you said earlier and the connection between your question about your character and doing a podcast, and whatever the connection in between that was, we missed.
Oh, it was a contrast. The connection was contrast. I don't think that's something for the streamers to know, but I do think it's something that all of us will have some problem with. The particular problem that I ran into for creating some things in the next character. So there's something there for us as a group, I think. But for the streaming people, I've got the idea that I'm coming up with I will eventually have my Mountaintops and Experiences podcast.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, as soon as you get that up and ready, let us know, and I'll be glad to put that as a link in the Twitch for folks who watch the stream.
I've got one real quick, Gally.
Sure.
And everybody here, just to let everybody know, there will be a COVID Con 2 eventually soon this year. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, so we're working on a second one. Right now, it just depends on what Dragon Con is going to do.
Okay. Yeah, because Dragon Con normally is in that Atlanta area, and it's huge. And Yeah, depending on how everything goes, that may be a virtual con as well.
Yep. That's why we're waiting and seeing what Dragon Con is going to do.
Okay, cool.
So just
Yeah.
back of your mind to be determined.
Okay, yeah. It would be fun to write, maybe run another one shot for that one as well. And of course, I'd
It's
try to do something different and unique. I'm going to try to make each of the one shots probably completely unrelated.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Viewers, if anybody's still on the stream, thank you for dropping by. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right now. And